Hey friends and neighbors, how you doing today? Hey, Grandpa's going to be back in the kitchen again today for a while. Uh, gonna show you an easy way to make foolproof omelets. You know, for years, I do a lot of cooking. Just it's kind of therapeutic for me, and sometimes I like stuff that my wife doesn't like, so it's just easier if I make it, and then I don't have to ask her to do it. And so anyway, it gives her a break, and I get to do stuff. And one of the things that I've always wanted to be able to do well was an omelet, just a simple omelet. And you know, the problem that I keep running into, and I see a lot of other people do too, is it seems like by the time I get the inside to where it's not, runny and half raw anymore, the outside's got that brown crust on it. Now some people like that. I do not want my eggs, whether they're fried or scrambled or an omelet, I don't want that brown crust on there. So I just wanted a nice, simple, uh, well done, but not scorched omelet. I tried all kinds of different methods to do it. I watched, people on TV doing it. Martha Stewart had a pretty good method at one that I saw at one time, but I just didn't. Sometimes it'd work, sometimes it wouldn't. And I know it worked all the time for her because, good grief, she's Martha Stewart. But anyway, I couldn't always get it to work foolproof every time. Well, I was playing around one day and I started making an omelet in my skillet here, and all of a sudden it struck me, wait a minute, I could do this. So I'm going to show you my secret, and I'm going to show you how you can make the perfect omelet every time. Not brown on the outside and not runny on the inside. So here we go. I'm going to start off with, it's going to be a 2-egg omelet. Now I've done this before with a 1-egg omelet, and I've tried it with a 3-egg omelet. 3 eggs gets a little too thick to fold over right. But anyhow, I'll explain that as we go along. Okay, here we go. I'm back again. Going to start off with a 7-inch omelet pan. This is just the right size for a 2-egg omelet, okay? A 1 egg will work fine in there, but, what's the point of having an omelet if you can't taste the egg, right? So I put 2 eggs in there, and 3 gets a little too thick for it to flip right. But we're going to make a 2-egg omelet. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. One of the key things I've discovered for this method is to have a good non-stick pan, okay? Nice rounded corner bottom in it. And we're going to put that there. We're going to use a real low heat. We're going to set this baby up. I don't know if you can see that flame or not, but we're going to get it down really low so we don't get that scorched brown stuff underneath. Okay, right there. I am going to put in, I'm using butter to cook this in just because I like to cook in butter. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of butter, maybe just a little bit more. Melt that a little bit. Now you can use just about anything for fat in here. Because we're doing it on a low heat, you can use butter, you can use olive oil. If you don't have any of them, you can use lard. Lard's good for you, by golly, no matter what they tell you. And you can use vegetable oil. Even if you really don't care what you're eating, you can use shortening, but I don't like eating plastic, so I don't eat that. So anyway, we got the butter melting here. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to scramble up some eggs. Now I used to always do this with just a whip, but I bought this thing. I bought this little it's not really a NutriBullet, it's a counterfeit. It's a little $10 blender deal, personal blender that I got at Walmart a couple of years ago. Started out, I just determined I was gonna get healthier, and so I thought, well, blending and juicing. I was watching a guy on YouTube all the time, a doctor, and he kept saying blending and juicing is so wonderful. I said, I'm gonna try that. So I got me this thing, and then first time I tried it, I realized I don't like blending and juicing. So I'm not that crazy about green stuff. So it sat there for a while, and then finally one day I realized, hey, I can use that for my eggs, So that's what I've been doing with it ever since. And it works really well for that. But the key here, whether you're doing it with a personal blender or a whip, wire whip, or fork, or a immersion blender or whatever you're using, the key is you want to get it really well beaten. You don't want any kind of stringy whites. You don't want to ever see the white stuff left in there. You want to pulverize it all. So hang on. There we go. Got her all beat up good. Now, when I'm doing scrambled eggs, I'll put a little milk in there just to make it a little fluffier, a little lighter. But I want this to bind together good, so I'm not putting any milk or water in it. I'm just using the, oh, listen to that. I'm using just the eggs. Now at this point, like I said, we want a slow fire, real low fire. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more. Just about as low as you can get it and keep going. We're just going to pour our egg in there. Now I should have got a lid for that, and I forgot to do it. So excuse me for a moment. Okay, I didn't find the right lid, but this one will help a little. Now, I usually season this before I put it in the blender, but just for making it easier up for the camera today, I didn't do that. I like my eggs salted. So salt and pepper to taste, season to taste. I like a little bit of garlic in mine, depending on what you're putting in it. Well, what we're going to make today is a bacon, egg, and cheese omelet. But, you know, as you know, an omelet can be, you can put anything in there. There's a little cayenne pepper in there. You can put anything in an omelet. If you want a Denver omelet, you can cut up some ham and some peppers and onions and stuff. If you know, whatever kind of omelet you want, put that on there. Now, what we're doing while that's getting ready over there, I'm going to move that guy out of the way. I got some bacon over here that I cooked earlier, and it's cooled off by now. So I'm just going to cut that up into like bite-sized pieces. And that's going to go inside. That's going to be our filling. Now, how much bacon should I use, you ask? Well, let me just put it this way. You can't use too much bacon, okay? So you put in all that'll fit. That's part of the recipe. It says that right in the recipe book. Put in all the bacon that'll fit, okay? Now I got some cheese here. I'm gonna make this in a couple of little strips. Set it aside for a little bit. I got some more cheese. That was some some fake Swiss cheese, processed Swiss cheese, Swiss America, whatever they want to call it. This is cheddar jack. So we're gonna get that ready. Now, see how we're doing here. You want to see, yeah, just a little bit longer. We're still pretty soft, but it's not real runny. I'll leave it in there just a little bit longer. Now I got I'm going to use this little spatula. I got these at the Dollar Tree. I got several of these. Quite a while back, a couple of years ago, back when everything at the Dollar Tree cost $1. That was before our government got all messed up and the federal government started printing out trillions of dollars out of thin air and was nothing but paper, and that drove down the value of our currency, of course. So now the dollar store really should be renamed the $1.25 store, but if they do that, then they're going to have to change it again in about 6 months if things don't change. So anyway, the dollar store, these are $1.25 now. So if you want one, they still got them at the Dollar Tree, but they're $1.25. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to put that, slide that under there just to get us started. And now you know what's coming next. I got this bigger spatula, just like that. Okay, now we're looking at a time crunch here. So we want to get our cheese on the inside. And we're going to flip this over like a taco, so you don't need cheese over the whole thing. You can put it over the whole thing if you want to, or you can just put it on half. That's what I usually do. And then I can put as much bacon as I can get in there on that half. Just like that. Now, by the time I get the bacon on there, the bottom half of that is cooked good enough to where I'm ready to flip her over. Are you ready? You with me now? Here we go. We're gonna put that under there. I'm gonna use this one to hold it in place and just flip that over. There we go. I did get a little bit of browning on that, didn't I? I wasn't quick enough. Guess I took too much time explaining. But anyway, here's where our other cheese comes in now. We're going to decorate this. Just like that. Put the lid on, turn the fire off, a couple of seconds for that cheese to melt, and we're good to go. Okay, just had a minute or two to melt there. Let's, you know what, let's pull that out into a flatter plate so you can see what it looks like. There we go, let's pull that out in there. There, by golly. Now that's an omelet. That thing will come out right every time when you do it that way. Take a look at this. Oh yeah, that's good all day long. I wish I could share that with you, but take my word for it. You can't go wrong like that. Well, hey, thanks a lot. If you saw anything you liked here, if you enjoy videos like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends on Facebook or Pinterest or whatever, and subscribe and watch for the next episode on my channel. Thanks a lot. See you later. God bless you. Bye.